Hello, how are you? So today I'm going to bring up the different stages of Lewy body dementia. I'm not saying that we agree that there are stages. I've read things that says there are, and I've read things that says there's not, and so we can't say. But anyway, my name is Madonna Brown. This is Hank Brown. We're both licensed clinical mental health counselors. And Hank started having symptoms of Lewy body dementia when he was age 46, and he is age 56 now. So we're just trying to talk about some of the struggles we're having with that, and so we're going to talk about that now, about the stages and stuff. So did you have something you want to start out with the stages, Hank, that you wanted to talk about or anything?
Not right off right
Okay.
now. I don't.
Okay. So in the beginning, in when Hank was 46, we started out. The first thing we noticed was Hank's hero is Conway Twitty, and he knows all of his songs, all of the words. I never was good at remembering words to most songs anyway. I just knew the songs by the sound. And we were coming home from Kentucky with our daughter Jessica, and we were singing Conway Twitty songs. And as soon as we started, Hank could not remember the words, and me and Jessica were singing, and I thought, wow, wonder what's happening. He's not remembering the words, and he was driving. It's not like anything else was going on. He was driving and doing fine. And we were singing, and then so I tried to change it up to a song that I knew he would know of Conway Twitty's, and I knew he would know, and it's like, nope, he could not remember the words. And I remember it wasn't long after that we were somewhere, and he started tripping over. Do you remember that? You were tripping
It was
over
in a mall.
in a mall in Raleigh. Yeah. You were what? What did you do? Do you remember?
I kept tripping.
Yeah. He was tripping over his. Do you remember which leg it was? Which foot?
I don't remember which
Okay.
one it was.
So he was tripping over one of his feet, and I remember it, and he almost fell more than once. And so that's when we kind of noticed something was going on. And then those things would happen more often, and then nothing would happen, and then other things would happen. Then we'd go to the neurologist, and they just didn't know anything. They did what a spinal tap, an MRI, all kinds of blood work, and they would even act like we were lying, and I'd go in so heartbroken, and say, hey, but you didn't know him before. These things are new. This is not something just happened that has always happened. So anyway, we're going to go over the stages, and what we're just telling you this for encouragement, okay? The stages, Hank went through the later stages, some of them first. And I know looking at Hank now, you would not know that he would have to stay at home from work, and I would say, what did you do? And he just sat in a chair. And then I got scared to leave him at home. Now, this is in the very beginning when he first started having symptoms. You had to, I remember, more of a flat affect on your face, just no emotions. He still has that, and he still has the grumpy face, or whatever you want to call it, where he looks like he's mad and looks like he's sad. Uh, and then he couldn't half walk. He had to use a cane. Now, this was in the beginning before he even got a diagnosis. And we lived in one location, and all this was going on. And then it wasn't long, we moved to a different house. And then he had some of the same symptoms. I mean, they just kept on and on for like 3 years. He just kept having this. Today he couldn't function, and that would usually last 2 or 3 days, and then he would have to sleep a lot. So anyway, it talks about, and again, I don't know that stages are really true or not. I've seen where they are, and then I've seen studies say they're not. It says starting out in stage 1, you have normal behaviors. Stage 2, you have mild changes. After Hank could not remember the words to Conway Twitty, remember we sent you to Dr. Duncan in Greenville, the psychologist?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he took a psychological eval, and ended up you had mild cognitive decline. And that was in the very beginning. And I remember that day you got really frustrated and was so anxious. And at that time, Hank was losing his keys, things like that. Lots worse than that. He was doing lots of other stuff. And he would say when he was driving, he couldn't tell like how far away the car was. Remember that? Nighttime was worse, and your hearing was getting worse.
Yeah, everything was getting worse.
That's true. And that was only, what, 6 months in? 8 months in?
Yeah. It's almost like you said, everything went backwards from me. than a lot of people.
Right.
And it's just weird.
Now, it says in stage 2, there are mild changes such as some difficulty finding words. Okay, you had that, you still have that, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Normal functioning in and outside of the home. I don't know that there's been normal functioning in a long time, has there?
Just normal, what should be normal.
Right.
Yeah, it's better, but yeah, it's still there.
What about finding the words eventually, the right word?
It usually comes to me, but I gotta, really think about it and,
Okay.
and get it lodged in my head.
So see, that's stage 2, and I can see where you're having some of those symptoms now.
Mm-hmm.
So stage 3, it says, is mild changes. Moments of forgetfulness. Yes, you've been having that the whole time. Beginning to have problems at the workplace. Yes, you've been having that ever since the very beginning. Trouble paying attention from the very beginning. Difficulty finding words and names. Very beginning. That's never stopped, has it?
No.
I think last week or this week that we're in, you were talking about, I remembered their name.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was a couple of different things that happened, and you were so.
Once I was like, "Ooh, I remember that."
And he was so excited that he could remember their names, and none of the rest of us could. But you did. Trouble managing money and remembering appointments. Now, since early on, Hank has not been able to manage money because of the numbers, and he's not been able to remember appointments. I take care of all that. So stage 3, you've been going through from the beginning. Stage 4. Let's see, forgetting familiar names or items.
A bunch of times on that.
Uh-huh.
I do that a lot.
Forgetting where they placed important items like their phone or watch.
I do that.
You do. Decreased knowledge of recent events.
What was it? Increased knowledge.
Decreased knowledge of recent events.
Decreased knowledge. I seem like I'm doing a little better.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Mistakes while driving. You just don't drive that much. We don't drive any. Difficulty problem solving. You're definitely in that. You can't do that. Increased issues with money management. You just don't do that. So, and daily tasks. Now, it could be, as we're talking about it, I'm thinking maybe the reason you're not having issues with daily tasks because you do the same thing every day.
Mm-hmm. Repetition.
Right. So it's not like we're doing anything new for you to have an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's got a job, he's going out of the home, and today he couldn't do something. Well, so now we got him in stage 4, just so you know. And so he did get the mild cognitive decline disorder. He did get that mild cognitive decline from the psychologist, but after that, he went back a year later and got moderative cognitive decline. And we never did go back for the severe. We just didn't do that. All right, so now we're on number 5, stage 5. Now remember, Hank is already, looks like, in stage 4. It says personality changes and mood swings. Now I just want you to know this happened within the first 6 to 8 months. Repeat same questions and thoughts. He did that back then. Memory gaps. And he had bladder problems back then, but he don't have those now. Need assistance while eating and using the bathroom. You've never needed that assistance.
No.
But do you think you have personality changes and mood swings now?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I mean,
And do you repeat questions or thoughts?
all the time.
You don't really seem too bad though, most of the time.
The what now? The
Here we go. He just proved his point.
I go back to 2nd grade.
That's really good. That's funny. Repeat same questions or thoughts. Oops. So, yeah, he's got that one. We don't have to question it anymore. Memory gaps. Sometimes. So now that's stage 5. He's in stage 5 then. All right, stage 6. Strong mood swings and obvious personality changes. strong mood swings, and obvious personality changes. Do you have that?
Well, the severe. I don't think I had the severe.
Well,
mood.
yeah. Stage 5 was personality changes and mood swings. Now it just says strong mood swings. You know what I've noticed?
What?
I've noticed that you have the strong mood swings and personality changes if you don't take your medication.
Yeah.
If he wears his Exelon patch, and if he takes his antidepressant, and he sees his new therapist for counseling,
Yes.
all of that makes all the difference in the world. Madonna's not much on you telling her that it can't happen and it can't be this way, and he's got Lewy Body Dementia and he's going to live 2 to 5 years, 5 to 7 years, 5 to 7 years, and blah, 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 blah. That's what I heard. I don't know. You remember on Charlie Brown where the teacher said, wah, 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 wah. That's what I heard when they was telling me all that. Because my philosophy is, you don't know. You tell me what you know. That's what's written in the studies, and I'm coming to you for your professional opinion. But when it comes down to it, we can take and we can look at stuff, and I know everybody does not believe in God, and we are fine with that. You believe in whatever you think you need to, but we believe in God. And I believe God can do anything. And I also believe that we can research. I believe there's supplements. I believe there's other ways of doing things. And I don't believe that one size fits all. So Madonna's not much on these stages of Lewy body. Maybe they'll roll around and it'll happen. And if it does, it does. But if I get locked in on Hank is in stage 5, oh my goodness, he's only got 2 more to go. Oh my goodness, and it took him this long to get here. How many hours, weeks, and days until you go through the next one? I'm just not for that.
Yeah. That's a good reason not to gloom and doom. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With about this stuff. Because I used to really worry about it, be laying in bed, oh my gosh, what am I going to do, Donna will be by herself, and, all that, but it seems like the longer I go, the better I'm getting right now. That don't make sense.
Right.
But that's what it seems like. And these stages are good pointers to things, but that's little list is nothing compared to I'm trying to think of a word.
To me, the list is good, but it's nothing compared to the reality of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody says that you cut the end of your finger off and they sew it back on, it's going to take 8 months. I don't know. I'm just making this up, okay? It's going to take 8 months for everything to start back working and everything will be perfect. Okay, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's experience is different. And to me, in order for that finger to grow properly, doesn't only need to be affected by all the physical things, but how positive are you in life? How stressful is life to you? Do you have positive outlooks? Oh, I know it's going to work fine. I'm good with it. And you think all that, then the next thing you know, maybe it works great. Maybe it takes a year and a half. Maybe it only takes 5 months. Again, I'm just making this up now because I don't have a clue how long it would take. But that's what I think about the stages. I want you to know that just because there's a book about it, and just because a doctor, or just because a person's experience has happened that way, doesn't mean it's going to happen that way for you at all. I just don't believe in that one size fits all ever. I want to go by these stages and look at the guidelines of them. I already looked at them and been through them, and in the beginning I cried, and I just cried. Oh my goodness, because Hank was already at that time in like stage 5 or 6. I mean, right here, stage 6. What does it say? Different eating habits. Yes, he had that. Getting lost. Yes, he would get lost. He had bladder problems then. Difficulty speaking in general. Yes. Lack of awareness. Yes. And delusions. This is stage 6, severe mental decline, and in the beginning of Hank's disease, he was in stage 6. I remember it the first time it happened. We were sitting at a restaurant. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. And I was at one end of the table and Hank was at the other end. And I said, Hank, what do you want to eat? And he just stared into space. Hank, and he's just staring into space. And everybody's looking at me and then they're looking at him. And I said, Hank. And it took like 4 to 5 times to say your name until you said, what? Mm-hmm. So he was in lack of awareness a long time back then. Now, that very seldom ever happens. Delusions don't happen. Difficulty speaking don't happen. I mean, in general, you sometimes, I mean, you can't always find the words. I'm not saying that. You don't have bladder problems. I'm not saying he wouldn't get lost. I don't know. I mean, he don't get lost in Walmart and Lowe's and things like that. Different eating habits. That happens. Sometimes he wants to eat. You eat a lot and you're really hungry, and other times you're not. All right, so let's get on down to stage 7. Here we go. Loss of ability to eat. No. Swallowing or loss of ability to speak. That's not happening, is it? Mm-mm. Not able to use a bathroom without assistance?
No.
No muscle control?
No.
Always disoriented? No. Loss of bowel or bladder control? No. May need to stay in the bed constantly? No. No. So really, Hank, when I look at these different stages, Hank was in stage 6 in the beginning. And again, we're telling you guys these things because we want to be an encouragement to you in a positive way. Now, maybe your loved one is in stage 7, okay? And if you see it going downhill to that, I'm already thinking if he was in stage 7, how long will it last? It may not last long, but who knows? They told me in the beginning that, read this and Hank's going to die in this amount of time. They didn't tell me that, but I read it.
Oh, yeah, they gave you a book.
They did.
Yeah, I read it too.
The neurologist gave me a book that one of his clients had Lewy Body Dementia, and his wife had written a book. And he gave it to me and told me to read it. After 3 chapters, I quit because all I did was cry when I read it. And I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this is awful. And oh my goodness, this is how it's going to be. And all I did was think about how it was going to be. And it's like, it's not been like that. Our life has not been like their life. I don't know why. I don't know if it's Hank's medication or what. Parkinson's symptoms. Hank had to use a cane. He's had to use a cane so many times. We parked one day at our office in North Carolina, and Jessica said, Daddy fell out of the truck. I was driving. I had parked, and he opened his door and just fell out on the pavement.
Yeah, I remember that.
We've not had anything like that to happen in a long time, so years. But you did have to use a cane for a while. But probably in the last year and a half, he had to use a cane. But he don't have those issues now. He don't trip over either one of his feet. He don't use a cane. What else has changed for you?
I don't know. Can you think of anything?
Well, I'm thinking your sleep is not. You're not restless in your sleep all the time.
Yeah, sleeping better.
You still talk in your sleep sometimes, but you don't act out. Mm-hmm. You don't go into delusions or anything in the middle of the night now. He's going for a sleep study, and we thought maybe that could help with his energy in the day. But you don't really now. Even lately, you've not been taking that many naps. He did Sunday from being really tired. But So, again, we just want to encourage you guys to let you know, don't read about all this stuff and think it is written in stone. Read for information, but remember, you and your loved one are different people. And we don't know how you're genetically made up, what's going on, what's happening. We don't know. I was reading about some Lewy Body Dementia patients that passed away, and they found nematodes in their brain, which means that it was something about the nematodes or something about a worm that comes from tick bites. So, Was it really Lewy body dementia? Was it something to do with that? We don't know. Is it where you live in the world that causes it to get, greater? Is it concussions? Hank had concussions. We don't know.
And the other thing, the so-called experts don't know either.
Right. Not always.
Mm-hmm.
They have great information. I watch.
They still, medicines and taking care of you, but you just don't know what your body's going to do.
Exactly.
And
do you have any other words of encouragement for everybody?
well, kind of like I always say, just keep hanging on. If what you're doing's working right now, keep going with it. And if you see some changes or something, it might be time to, find out what maybe that would be.
Right.
And things like that. But as you've seen with those, all those different orders of things, none of it, is 100% proof of
Right.
what's going to happen. So I quit worrying about it years ago after we realized this, that my body's telling me what I'm doing a lot of days. It'll tell me, hey, you're sleeping today, or
True. Yeah.
You're
true.
feeling great. You can go with them to the movies and
True.
and
I agree.
everything. So just don't give up hope.
Right. I agree.
Hope is one of the best things we got.
The only thing greater than fear is hope. I got that in a comment. It was from Jay Bird, and that's our youngest daughter, and she commented that on one of my videos, on our videos. I don't think it was just mine, but yeah, that's what she said. She also corrected us in another video about our restaurant. She says, I wasn't 6, I was 10 or 11. And I said, that's funny. You seemed a lot younger. So yeah. So she's on there correcting us, so she's paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just always want you guys to have as much hope. I want to instill hope in you, and I can tell you, trying to give you guys hope helps me to have more hope, because I have something to look forward to now. That it's not just me and Hank are on this journey alone. We're on this journey with all you guys.
Yeah, and we want to hear from you.
We do.
If it's just a little message at the bottom down there, or you want to write a book.
That's right.
We would love to hear it. Hear some of your stories. We may not be able to get to everyone, but we'd love to.
Right now we're getting to everyone.
Yeah.
I try to give something, a thumbs up, a heart. I try to do something. If I can't respond with a big lengthy thing, I try to respond to everyone.
Because that's like a big thank you.
It is. So we'd like it if you'd subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate that. Give us the thumbs up if you like the video, and hit the little notification so you can, get a new video when it comes out. It just helps us so much to know that you guys are watching the videos. And I've got a video from years ago when Hank was just, before he ever got diagnosed, and we were at our office one day working. And I've got to play it for Hank to see if he's okay if I put it out there. And I can tell you now, if he lets me, he looks like he's drunk, sitting in an office chair at our office, and I'm talking to him, trying to get him to go home. So I don't know if he's going to let me put it out, and again, he's going to have to watch it to make sure he's okay with you guys seeing all that. But you will be amazed at how sick Hank was back then compared to now. To me, it looks like the end stages back then. So we had lost a lot of hope back then. In the beginning, I lost all hope. But here we are. And if anything happens to me or Hank, either one tomorrow, we've had a great 25 years together. And as the oldest daughter, Whitney, says, she says, Mama, be appreciative of what you have, because not everybody finds a love like you and Hank have. And that's what she always tells me to hold on to. So I try to hold on to what Whitney says, that we have had a great love for 20, going on 26 years, and I'm so thankful that we found one another. All right, so if you need anything, questions, comments, please hit the subscribe button, and we will talk to you next time. Bye bye.